like he's going to even get a minute, if we're being completely honest. And why? Let me show you. Because even today, there was an update on our midfield situation. Here's the latest. Simon Phillips telling us Chelsea are stepping up their pursuit of Scott, with fresh reports indicating the Blues are working to reach a breakthrough in negotiations with Bournemouth over the transfer fee. Talks remain ongoing as they push to get a deal over the line. Now, this is a very, very interesting one. And why? Because, I'm going to be honest, I heard the same. When I put up a post on X earlier on today, I was told that we have been actively looking to try and get a deal done. Not urgently, because we did put in a bid of 64 million that got rejected. The value for Alex Scott is going to be around 95. But are Bournemouth going to be able to, are we going to be able to negotiate it down a little bit? One thing that I can tell you that I've heard, and it goes hand in hand with what Simon Phillips is putting out here in terms of why we are pursuing. Alex Scott, I said this a week ago or so, Alex Scott wants Chelsea, only Chelsea, right? And we're interested in him because Alonso apparently really, really likes him. That's what I've heard. Word on the street is Alonso really, really likes Alex Scott. Okay. Now, Alonso as a midfielder, I can't doubt his judgment. Do you know what I mean? I can't. So, let's see. What I've heard here in terms of the plan is that even bringing Henderson in, it's not about him getting minutes, it's about his presence in and around the team. That's the reason why we're bringing him in, for leadership. Now, with our midfield situation, we are looking to bring in one midfielder. If Enzo Fernandez departs, we're looking to bring in another. Now, the options that we have on our table is Alex Scott, Bruno Guimaraes, Adam Wharton. If Alex Scott is the guy that we're going after, right? And I'll be honest, I initially thought perhaps we're going to be after Bruno G first, and then it's going to be either Wharton or Scott. No, I'm going to give you an update on Bruno G and maybe why we're deciding to go for Alex Scott, because the Bruno G situation is a joke. As far as I'm concerned, it's turned into a farce. I'll get to that in a sec. But Alex Scott is available right now. Adam Wharton, you could say, could clash with Bruno G in terms of role. We've got to understand, did you see the whole situation with Lavia? Right, he's injured again. I'll get to him in a bit as well. But when you're looking at who's going to partner Caicedo, yeah, Alex Scott's not that guy, is he? When you think about it, he's not that guy. You would say Bruno Guimaraes to pivot next to him, yes. Adam Wharton to pivot next to him, yes. Alex Scott, no. You could argue that Alex Scott could actually be a backup to Caicedo, right? Or an alternative option. This is where it gets interesting in terms of the profiles that we might be going after here. Chelsea looking like they're after Alex Scott. Let's see how that one's going to go. I'm saying that, yes, there is legit interest. And it seems like we could actually be trying to get a deal done here. I wouldn't be surprised if in a day or two, all of a sudden, we've got a deal done with Alex Scott. I wouldn't be shocked, right? I wouldn't be shocked. So, again, take that with a pinch of salt and bear that as you want. Now, with Bruno G, let me explain the situation with Bruno G, because this is a joke. Here's the latest. Let me show you from the article.
The Sky. Jordan Henderson to Chelsea. This is absolutely bonkers. I was thinking about what's happened at Chelsea this summer, and the best way that I can describe it, you know that Gordon Ramsay show where he goes into restaurants that are just like completely broken and trash, and he goes in there, sorts out the standards, fixes everything, and then hopefully the owners can run the restaurant and everything is good. That is what Xabi Alonso has done at Chelsea. Xabi Alonso has come in, he's had a little look around and he's been like, that stinks, get rid of it, that's trash, what is that doing there? And he's basically trying to just completely upscale everything. It's amazing what is happening at Chelsea right now. Jordan Henderson, though, let's talk about him specifically. If he's being brought in to be a player that we expect to get minutes, I think Jordan Henderson is past it. However, I don't think that's what we're dealing with here. I think Jordan Henderson will come in as almost a player-coach role, to be quite honest. I don't think he'll ever start games for Chelsea unless we have a severe injury crisis. But even then, he's got to stop falling over advertising hoardings and breaking his arm. Jordan Henderson will be brought in because when it comes to leadership and experience, winning trophies, Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues as Liverpool captain, this is the best of the best, the creme de la creme. We have been crying out for years for leadership and experience and know-how. And if we're going to complain about Jordan Henderson without actually thinking about how this practically works, then I'm sorry, we're just Chelsea fans that will complain about anything and everything. This is a very good transfer. Not only is it free, but don't see this as Jordan Henderson is expected to play however meant. No, this will not be that kind of signing. This is purely a result of everything that we've done in the past 3 years. Xabi Alonso has been given the keys at Chelsea Football Club. He's walked in, and the first thing he's done is be like, right, if I'm the manager of this team, I need a spine of leaders. Not necessarily players that will start every game, but in the...
Stamford Bridge doesn't do quiet summers anymore. And the latest name on Xabi Alonso's shopping list is one that's turning heads across the Premier League, Bournemouth's Alex Scott. Let's get into exactly how this one is unfolding. The bid. Chelsea have already tabled an opening offer worth £64 million for the 22-year-old midfielder, and Bournemouth wasted no time knocking it back. But here's the thing, knocking back a bid and ending a pursuit are two very different things. The Blues aren't walking away. They see Scott as a long-term piece in Alonso's midfield rebuild, someone who can add energy, drive the ball forward, and slot straight into Premier League intensity without missing a beat. Caught offside. Why Bournemouth are digging in. Now, you'd expect Bournemouth to put up a fight for a player like this, and that's exactly what's happening. Scott was a key figure in the Cherries qualifying for Europe last season. He's still under contract, and on top of that, he's got interest from several other big English clubs circling. But there's a twist that's tilted things in Chelsea's favor. Scott has reportedly turned down a new contract at Bournemouth, and that's opened the door for Chelsea to believe a second, improved offer could eventually get this over the line. The endorsements. Here's where it gets interesting. Reports out via Florian Plettenberg suggest Chelsea remain heavily invested in this deal and are preparing to come back in with a bigger number after that opening £64 million bid. And the reason Chelsea are so convinced. Scott is reportedly held in serious esteem by elite coaching figures. Pep Guardiola has previously called him an unbelievable player, and Thomas Tuchel is also said to rate him highly. When names like that are talking you up, it's no surprise a club like Chelsea are willing to dig deep into the wallet for a player who hasn't even nailed down a regular England senior spot yet. It's not a one-horse race, though. This one has genuine competition attached to it. Manchester United have been credited with interest, reportedly trying to get ahead of Chelsea in the race for Scott, alongside interest in Newcastle's Lewis Hall. Arsenal have also been strongly linked, but reports suggest United's involvement could be ruled out entirely if the asking price climbs to around £90 million, since United are said to have a £70 million ceiling. That price gap could be exactly what hands Chelsea the advantage. Here's the angle nobody's talking about enough. Chelsea won't be playing any European football next season after finishing 10th in the league, normally a huge disadvantage in the transfer market. But in this specific case, it might actually work in their favor. Scott's main priority is regular game time, and with a lighter fixture list of just the Premier League, Carabao Cup, and FA Cup, Chelsea can offer exactly that.